Sony is worried that Microsoft could sabotage PlayStation versions of Call of Duty if Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard were to be approved. Sony submitted documentation to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority saying that Microsoft could do a variety of moves to make the Call of Duty franchise on PlayStation unappealing to play on. On January 18th, 2022, Microsoft announced its intent to acquire Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion in cash. Under the terms of the agreement, which would be expected to close by spring 2023, pending regulatory and shareholder approval, Microsoft would own Activision, Blizzard Entertainment, and King under the Xbox Game Studios brand. The acquisition would give Microsoft ownership of franchises including Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. Gaming fans, let us know in the comments. Do you think Microsoft will play dirty with duty?
Dirty with duty. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
This was a conversation I was planning on really having with Sean, because me and Sean play this game religiously. I don't know if you're a Call of Duty fan.
Not Call of Duty, but I am an original Warcraft fan. Like original. I played on the PC the very first game.
Okay. This is, but
I played throughout until it became an online game, which is WoW. And my brother and my dad are obsessive WoW players. Been around. I used to be forced to play the game of a character of my dad and do one freaking task so that he could do whatever he needed while he handled something else, because my dad played multiple computers at one time.
Okay.
Like that's the seriousness of this.
So I don't play, but I'm just
she watches me
if
play.
You are acquiring them and you are paying money for that, you want it to make money, so why would you
sabotage?
Screw it so bad that it's ruined and no one wants to play it, because then therefore you just paid a whole bunch of money for no reason.
Because the concept is they're going to drop PlayStation
to make it an exclusive for
to get it on Xbox. Then they're getting a double hit. They're getting an Xbox purchase and the game,
right?
The game purchase into their company, versus where people could the gaming console was outside of their company, even though they're maybe still getting the gaming purchase. So they're trying to get a double market hit and create a monopoly, and that's where the big problem comes into play.
I mean, Call of Duty is one of the biggest games out there. Microsoft, who creates Xbox, and there's Sony, who creates PlayStation. They both get a version of this game. They get these games when they come out equally. If back in the day, it used to be one console would get the game a month sooner or before the other one, things like that. Then Sony started just getting every year after year after year, it was just all Sony. And then Microsoft was like, well, you know what? Why don't we just buy the damn company that makes that game? And then Sony and all the Sony's PlayStation Nation just panics, and all of us Xbox guys were like, we got the money to do this. But would it make sense to sabotage PlayStation? I mean, if you own the company that makes the game, you're leasing it out to PlayStation. You're still making money off of that.
I think it from a business standpoint, it absolutely makes sense for them to sabotage it. 100%.
I think it doesn't. I think they would lose money if it became an Xbox exclusive.
It would have to. If they're sabotaging it, PlayStation's going to end up going. Even the customers are going to end up going, well, why the hell will we want to play it on PlayStation? And they already know their other games work on Xbox. So guess what? We're just going to get an Xbox, drop PlayStation, so we can play the very important game, which is Call of Duty. So yes, sabotaging makes a business sense.
I think the last time me and Sean talked about this on this channel, I think I remember bringing it up, was it depends on if they should do their due diligence on this. If the number of Call of Duty loyalists who will jump to a different console, even if they don't own an Xbox, but they always played it on PlayStation. If they're more loyal to the game versus the console, if that number is bigger than the console one, then yes, it makes sense to sabotage.
So as somebody
then you make your money with PlayStation.
But as somebody who owns Call of Duty Arcade, I guarantee you there's a lot of loyalty to the game.
The question again, though, is how much overlap of, because there's a lot of people who are like, I will never play any place. I hate PlayStation. I mean, I hate Xbox, and I won't play a place. There's people who are like, I will only play Xbox, and people who are like, I will only play PlayStation.
I was a PlayStation only person many moons ago. I really was. Legitimately, I grew up with it. That's what I played. That's kind of like was my go-to after Nintendo. And when I was with someone who liked Xbox, that's when I became an Xbox.
That's when you got right.
Well, not right. I actually like both. I prefer the controller situation with PlayStation just because I think that's what I was like trained with, so to speak, in the sense of the beginning. But I can manage the Xbox, but I have to like sit there and kind of go, okay, wait, I got to do this.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more brain power. But then once I play it a lot, I get into it. I like the Xbox. I think the Xbox is great, but I'm one of those people that doesn't necessarily think one is better than the other. For me, it's just controller difference. For me.
I think that's an American way of thinking about it, because I know the number isn't 50-50, but let's just say for the sake of argument that it's 50% of Americans play PlayStation, 50% play Xbox. That's not the way it is in the rest of the world. Japan, it is mostly PlayStation. In Europe, it is mostly PlayStation. Because the damn country that makes it is right there.
But that's because of manufacturer things like that. So that makes sense.
For that number alone might offset it, where it's like the loyalists to the game. The PlayStation console might be greater because you got to think of the rest of the world. And if that's true, then Microsoft, they're not going to sabotage it. But if it's not true, even if it's close, then yes.
Yeah, it's going to come down to numbers. That's really, like you said, it's going to come down to the actual percentage or idea of the statistics of loyalty for the game versus the console.
Right.
I completely agree with you there. I just do think that there is a real play at sabotaging when you think about the two hit to market versus the one hit to market.
Yeah.
Makes sense to sabotage at that point.
Hey, see, business owners coming together, counseling Microsoft. We're that devil on Microsoft shoulder. Do it. Only through your hates will you be stronger. All right, guys, let us know what you think. If you're a gamer, share your thoughts on that, because I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I'm an Xbox guy, so wing no matter what. Let's move on to the next topic, babe.
Guys, that's the end of this episode of The Rundown. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. And click here or here. Thanks for watching.